that's all I do. I work at the studio and I show, that's it. There'll be 1 or 2 months in the year where I can be a bit more sociable when I'm not, you know, super stressed, but that's 2 months out of 12. I was born in Odessa, Ukraine. I lived there till I was about 7, and then moved to Canada when I was 17.
And then, how did you become a designer?
I went to school for it for 2 years at Ryerson in Toronto, and then I dropped out of the program and moved here.
Why did you drop out?
I wanted to do it for real, finally, and I really liked Montreal. I never really fit into the Toronto scene that well, so I found an internship with Valérie Dumaine, so I did that for a couple of months. Then I started my own line.
When did you decide, I want to be a fashion designer?
I think when I started my own line, actually. I think that's when I made
yeah,
you know, that's when I made the final decision. And when I started my own line, I felt like, that's it, this is all I want to do. I didn't feel like I wanted to do anything else anymore.
So why do you like working with pleats?
I like to work with pleats because you have the ability to transform a very simple fabric into something, into whatever you want, really. You know, pleats have so much texture and so much depth, and you can drape and manipulate them in so many different ways. It's an endless source of inspiration.
Can you tell me a little bit about your challenges being a fashion designer?
Well, there have been many. You know, when you're starting and you're starting very young, one of the challenges I found was really finding my own style. You know, what describes you? It's kind of like someone coming up to you and being like, okay, tell me everything about yourself in 5 minutes. So you can't, that took a couple of years to perfect itself, you know? That was one of the challenges. I mean, financing is always a challenge. I think most young designers would agree with me on this.
What are the misconceptions that you think that people have about being you?
The first misconception is, you know, that being a designer is so glamorous and so easy and all you ever do is design. I mean, in reality, designing is such a small part of the job, you know? People often see designers as like the sugar daddy of the industry because it often feels that it's not that it feels that that's how it is, that we're expected to pay for everything, but our only revenue really is sales, which aren't really enough to cover all the expenses that people expect us to cover. You know, so in doing a show, there's, besides just a simple runway fee, there's also the models, the stylists, the PR, you know, the accessories and all this other stuff that you have to cover that's coming out of your budget that's not necessarily factored into the cost of the garment.
So how much of a shock was that, or was it a shock, you know, to be a designer, to realize I need to have a business sense?
Well, it's not really a shock. I mean, it's something that comes very gradually. So what I find difficult is being both people at the same time. I feel that if you are both people at the same time, you're either at some point a stronger business person and at another point a stronger designer.
Have you made any sacrifices to be a fashion designer?
I've sacrificed everything to be a fashion designer. I mean, if I'm working on a show or if we're in the season, this is all I do. Because I mean, at the end of the day, as an artist, the only way that you are an artist is if you show your work. It's a socially involved medium. Because, you know, if you're an artist and you don't show your work, it's like writing in a diary and calling yourself an author. I love it. So, you know, for me, I'm not going to give it up just if something doesn't work out like that. I'm going to continue and I'm going to push forward because it's my thing. Like, there's no separation between who I am and what I do.